A very good morning to all of you. Students, we are doing chapter number 5 accounting equation, and in the previous class as we discussed the format of an accounting equation along with a few transactions, we are going to proceed with that. For better understanding, I have created this table which says when one column you are having your transactions, in second column you are having accounts affected, and in the third column it will be showing which account will be having a positive connotation or which account will be having a negative connotation. Commenced business with cash, goods or building. For example, you commenced your business with either cash or goods or building, whatsoever the case may be. It could be either with cash also. If it is with cash, you are going to open a cash account under asset section as we learned in the previous class. And if you're going to bring cash, goods and building, all of it, thus you're going to open separate account for each, that is cash plus goods plus building along with the respective amount. And in capital you're going to sum up all the amount together, because all these things are being started or being invested in the commencement or during the commencement of the business. That is why we are going to sum up, or we are going to add the amount of cash plus goods plus building under your capital section. Now the very next transaction says purchased furniture for cash. The two accounts affected, one is your furniture and the another one is your cash. Since you are purchasing the furniture, then your furniture being an asset, it is being added upon. However, cash, you are going to pay it in cash. Thus cash being decreased, the same respective amount will be deducted from your cash column. This is a kind of transaction which says if one asset is increased, another is decreased. However, no change in the liabilities or capital side, thus making your accounting equation to be balanced. Next comes is your purchased goods for cash. As we all know, in our accountancy, for goods we use the word, or we use the terminology stock. So we are going to open one account which says stock, which is to be added upon because we are purchasing the goods, because stock is being coming inside your business. In the similar way, cash is going out, then cash is being reduced. Similarly, bought goods on credit. When you are going to purchase goods for cash, you are going to open cash account. However, when you are purchasing it on credit, thus you are creating one account which is known as your creditors, because creditors is supposed to be recorded under your liabilities section. That is why creditors are supposed to be added upon. Stock added, creditors added, again keeping your accounting equation to be balanced. Next comes is your withdrew cash. Withdrew cash, basically your drawings, cash to be deducted, capital to be deducted. When we commence the business with cash, we increase the cash. Similarly, we increase the capital also. However, if we are withdrawing the cash, then we are going to reduce the capital and reduce the cash also with the corresponding amount. Next comes is your purchased furniture on credit. In the similar way, as we discussed, bought goods on credit, similar way we are going to have purchased furniture on credit. For furniture, again you are purchasing it, then your furniture is added upon. In the similar way, your creditors also added upon for your furniture account. Alright, moving on to the next. One transaction or few effects of transaction have been discussed over here. Purchased furniture for rupees 500 in cash. As you can see over here, your old balance was shown as rupees 20,000, whichever the case prevailing may be. And there's a person by the name of Rakesh who is having a capital of rupees 20,000. Now the new transaction says purchased furniture for rupees 500 in cash. Cash is going to be deducted from your 20,000. You are going to deduct 500, which will give you 19,500. In the similar way, you are going to add or create one more account which is your furniture, and you are going to add 500 in that respective column of furniture. That is minus 500 under cash plus 500 under your furniture. Now the new balance comes upon 19,500 plus 500 is equal to 20,000. Again bringing your accounting equation to be balanced upon. Next, purchased goods for rupees 1,000 in cash. Now we are purchasing the goods on cash. This means we are going to open which two accounts? One is your stock account, and cash, since it is already being existed, we are going to reduce the similar corresponding amount from that column cash. In the previous balance, as it is shown, 19,500, which we are going to carry it from the previous transaction. 19,500 plus 500, furniture remaining same, stock nothing over here in the old balance. However, when you're going to transact new, cash minus 1,000, furniture nothing, no furniture has been purchased, so it will be shown as 0. However, stock will be recorded as plus 1,000. Students, mind my words, under each and every transaction, for in say, let us say, here it is also clearing it up. For your new transaction, since only cash and stock is being affected, however no other transaction is being affected, thus you are going to put up plus 0 under that column. Alright. In the similar way, we have purchased goods for rupees 2,000 on credit. In the previous transaction, since cash was affected, thus we were reducing the cash, affecting both sides of assets only, that is cash as well as stock. However, here it is purchased goods for rupees 2,000 on credit. Stock is being added by rupees 2,000, but one more account, that is your creditors under your liabilities section, now it has been created. Initially it was not there, but as soon as your new transaction came up, you opened one more account by the name of creditors, that is rupees plus 2,000. It is having no effect on cash, plus 0, no effect on furniture, plus 0, no effect on your capital, plus 0. Only two accounts are affected, which are stock plus 2,000, liabilities, creditors plus 2,000. You can see over here as well, your accounting equation again remains balanced, that is assets is equal to your liabilities plus capital. Alright students, let us proceed further. Now, pay rupees 1,000 for rent and rupees 5,000 for salaries. Students, you all have to remember one thing. When we are considering our accounting equation, rent, salaries, commission, interest, they all are kind of expenses. And all these kind of expenses, we will be deducting it from our capital. Alright, see over here. It means cash in hand has reduced by rupees 6,000. These are expenses and no asset comes into existence. Hence, capital will be reduced by this amount as shown below. See old balance as it is shown. New transaction, cash to be deducted by minus 6,000, that is 1,000 for rent and 5,000 for salaries. No change in another accounts, plus 0 in furniture, plus stock in 0, plus 0 in debtors also. However, under your capital you are going to deduct minus 6,000. Alright. In the similar way, we have Rakesh withdraws rupees 2,000 for his personal use. Now, this cash withdrawn for personal use is considered as your drawing. So, it will be reducing your cash as your capital as we discussed over here. We drew cash deducted, in the similar way capital also deducted. Alright, let us proceed to the another set of transactions. Additional fresh capital introduced. Suppose for example, in a company, the person who is the owner of the business decided to introduce fresh capital. Now that fresh capital will again have the same effect as the person started the business had it. Cash again going to be added, in the similar way capital also going to be added. paid rent, commission, cartage or salaries in cash. As we discussed in the previous, that paid rupees 1000 for cash, paid rupees 5000 for salaries, these all are your expenses. In the similar way, this paid rent, commission, cartage or salaries in cash, they all are your expenses. Again, you are going to reduce your cash and reduce your capital by the respective corresponding amounts. Cash paid to creditors or any person who is a creditor. Students, as we discussed over here, since we are purchasing goods on credit, fourth transaction, as you can see, bought goods on credit, we have opened one creditor's account over here. Now if we are going to pay that creditor, then we are going to reduce that creditors by the similar corresponding amount, as well as since we are paying cash, cash is going to be reduced and the creditors amount is also going to be reduced. Next we have deposited into bank. Since we are having cash and which we are depositing in our bank, so your cash gets reduced and your bank balance gets increased by the corresponding amount. Your cash and bank, they both are your assets, thus they will be recorded under your asset side only. One is having positive effect, another is having negative effect, again bringing your accounting equation on a balancing note. Before discussing transaction number 11, let us proceed to a case. Prepare accounting equation from the following. Kamal started business with cash, rupees 2,50,000. Since Kunal started business with cash rupees 2,50,000, and as you can see over here, capital rupees 2,50,000. New equation, he purchased furniture for cash, that is rupees 35,000. Now on cash it is being purchased. From cash you are going to deduct 35,000 and you are going to open one furniture account by the corresponding amount, that is plus furniture, and under that you are going to record plus 35,000. As you can see, this 35,000 is recorded in corresponding to your second transaction only, but before that it is recorded as 00. So mind my words, when you are going to open that transaction, in front of that transaction only you have to write down this 35,000. Now no effect in the liabilities as well as capital side. Next transaction comes, he paid commission, and as we discussed, your commission being an expense, so you are going to reduce your cash and your capital. We did that. We are going to reduce 2,000 under your cash section and in the similar way from your capital section. He purchased goods on credit, rupees 40,000. Two accounts to be affected. One is your stock and another one is your creditors. Creditors being a liability, it will be recorded under your liability section. Creditors plus 40,000, stock plus 40,000. Now the very next transaction comes is, he sold goods costing rupees 20,000 for cash at rupees 26,000. Students, see over here. There's a person named by Rahim. He sold goods costing rupees 40,000 for rupees 48,000. Basically the cost to produce goods was rupees 40,000. However, that person sold it at 48,000. Now that 8,000 is his profit. So how you are going to record? This transaction will have three effects. Basically it will be having three accounts affected. Very first, as we all know, is our goods. We are going to deduct 40,000 from goods column because our goods are being sold. In the similar way, we are receiving the cash, but cash received is 48,000. So we are going to add this 48,000 under our cash column. And the difference between 48,000 less 40,000 is your 8,000, which is your profit. You are going to add this profit in your capital. If you remember, we discussed in our basic accounting terms that is your chapter number 2, that is profit is added in your capital and loss is deducted from your capital. So over here, profit, it is being added in your capital. You can see over here as well. He sold goods costing rupees 20,000 for cash at rupees 26,000. Transaction number 5th from the question. So 20,000 goods, we are going to deduct 20,000 from stock, and 26,000 being the cash which we are receiving, we are going to add this 26,000 under our cash column. However, the difference or the balance between two, that is 6,000, is our profit. We are going to add that profit under our capital column. Alright students, let us proceed to the next transaction, set of transactions. Now, as we discussed, paid salaries, paid rent, commission, cartage, etc. These all expenses reduce your cash as well as your capital. However, when you receive the rent, when you receive the dividend, when you receive any kind of commission, when you receive any kind of interest, now that increases your cash also. Thus, we are going to add the corresponding amounts in our cash as well as capital, because we are receiving it. We are receiving the cash, we are receiving the rent, we are receiving the dividend, we are receiving the commission, as well as we are receiving the interest, whatsoever the case may be. However, we are not going to open any separate accounts for that. That is why we are recording it under our capital section. Now, next comes is your received cash from Rahul, who is a debtor in full settlement. Now, what do we mean by the word full settlement, students? We have to understand this. Firstly, see the accounts affected, then we are going to discuss the transactions in the corresponding equations which we are going to have, in the corresponding questions which we are going to have in the next upcoming slide. So the cash received, whatever cash you are going to receive from Rahul, you are going to add that. Now you are receiving the cash. This means Rahul was a debtor as shown in our accounting equation. So you are going to deduct that corresponding amount which was due from Rahul, and as well as there would be some kind of loss which you are suffering. You are going to deduct from that capital. See over here. Whole question says Manoj starts business with cash, goods and building. Cash rupees 2,30,000, goods rupees 1 lakh, building rupees 2 lakh. Manoj started business with cash, goods and building. As you can see, cash 2,30,000, stock 1 lakh, building 2 lakh. However, whole amount is added under your capital, that is 5,30,000. Next, he purchased goods for cash, rupees 50,000. He purchased goods for cash, cash rupees 50,000 to be deducted. In the similar way, stock 50,000 to be added. He sold goods costing rupees 20,000 at rupees 35,000. Now, this is the kind of transaction which we discussed earlier. He sold goods costing rupees 20,000 at rupees 35,000. As you all know, he is selling off goods which is having a cost of rupees 20,000. So, under your stock, you are going to reduce that amount by 20,000. And since you are receiving 35,000 as a cash amount, you are going to add that 35,000 under your cash section. However, the balance between that is 35,000 minus 20,000 is your 15,000 as a profit, which is being added in your capital column. Alright. Now see over here a transaction number 5 which says he sold goods to Varun costing rupees 52,000 at rupees 60,000. Now students, over here we are presuming that Varun is a debtor. Reason being what? As you read on the question, the transaction number 8 says received cash from Varun in full settlement. This means your transaction number 5, it would have been on credit basis. That is why you are receiving that amount later on. Whenever we are going to read a question, we are going to firstly see whether any amount related to Varun has been shown later on. If not, then that whole transaction is on cash basis. If yes, then that whole transaction is on credit basis for the time being. Now, he sold goods to Varun costing rupees 52,000 at rupees 60,000. What we are presuming over here is 52,000 is the cost of the goods and 60,000 is the amount at which it has been settled. See, transaction number 5. He sold goods to Varun costing rupees 52,000. That is under your stock. You are going to deduct 52,000. However, you are going to open one more account, that is your debtors, by the amount of corresponding 60,000, because here we are presuming, or here it has been mentioned that we are going to receive cash from Varun later on. Thus, for the time being, it is your debtor, or he is your debtor. So you are going to open one debtor account and record rupees 60,000 over that. And the difference between the two, 60,000 less 52,000, gives you 8,000, which is again your profit to be added in your capital column. Next, transaction number 8. It says you are receiving the cash from Varun in full settlement. Full settlement, whenever the word full settlement is used, you have to presume it that after this, any amount which is due from Varun will be nullified. So, since we were expecting 60,000 but we are receiving 59,000, so where we are going to adjust this 1,000, we have to see this. See over here, received cash from Varun in full settlement. We are receiving 59,000, so we are going to record 59,000 as your cash received under cash column as plus 59,000. And since Varun is your debtor and you are settling it in full basis, so whole 60,000 will be deducted from over here. You are not going to carry forward this debtors anywhere now. So this 60,000 will be completely nullified, will be completely nil over here. Alright. However, there is a balance of rupees 1,000, which is basically your loss, because you were expecting rupees 60,000 but you have received only 59,000. So that 1,000 over here becomes your loss. And as we add profit under our capital, we are going to deduct this 1,000 from our capital. Alright, as you can see in the 8th row, received cash from Varun in full settlement, 59,000 under your cash, 60,000 in your debtors and 1,000 under your capital column as your deducted amount being loss. Clear, students? Alright. Now proceeding to the very last transaction for the day, which says paid to Manish, who is a creditor. Now in the similar way, we are having a creditor over here. We have transacted with Manish initially in full settlement. Now we are paying him. Cash to be paid, deducted. Creditors, whatever amount was due, to be deducted. Capital, any profit which we are having it, to be added upon. See over here. Started business with cash rupees 70,000. Cash 70,000, capital 70,000. Credit purchases of goods rupees 18,000. Stock 18,000. Creditors 18,000. Payment made to creditors in full settlement of rupees 17,500. Now we can presume it as our discount also or as a rebate also. We were about to pay him 18,000 but we are paying him only 17,500. So we are receiving rupees 500 as our profit. Alright, students, we are paying only 17,500, so from cash we are only going to deduct 17,500. But our creditors were amounting to rupees 18,000 and we are completely settling this account in full settlement. So complete 18,000, that is the amount due, will be nullified, will be completely erased from our accounting equation now. That is minus 18,000. And the balance, the difference between them, that is 500, is your profit, which is supposed to be added in your capital. Now 17,500 in negative on the asset side, 18,000 plus 500, that is minus 18,000 plus 500 again gives you 17,500 in bracket, that is in negative, again balancing your accounting equation to be equal. Business started with cash rupees 1,75,000. Purchased goods from Rohit 50,000. Now sold goods on credit to Manish costing rupees 17,500 for rupees 20,000. Students, we have to read again whole question over here. It is saying in the third transaction we are selling off goods on credit to Manish, and in the sixth transaction it is saying cash received from Manish wholly rupees 20,000. Alright, in a similar way we have second transaction, purchased goods from Rohit 50,000, cash paid to Rohit in full settlement 48,500. So this transaction or this question is having all of the above stated transactions effect. Let us consider this question. Business started with cash rupees 1,75,000. Your cash rupees 1,75,000, capital 1,75,000. We are purchasing goods from Rohit, so stock is being opened upon by rupees 50,000, and we are purchasing goods from Rohit. In the fifth transaction it is saying we are purchasing, or rather we are paying cash to Rohit in full settlement. This means we have purchased these goods on credit basis for the time being. So we are going to open one creditor's account under liabilities section by amount rupees 50,000. Next, sold goods on credit to Manish costing rupees 17,500 for rupees 20,000. We are selling goods on credit who's having cost of rupees 17,500. So let us initially deduct the 17,500 from our stock account. Then we are selling it on credit basis. That means we are receiving or we are expecting an amount from that. That amount is yet to be received. Now amount is yet to be received again brings your debtors into account. So your debtors account is being opened by the amount of rupees 20,000. And the corresponding difference between that is your rupees 2,500 becomes your capital profit, which is being added in your capital. Now purchased furniture for office use, as we know, 10,000 deducted and from cash, and furniture added 10,000. Cash paid to Rohit in full settlement 48,500. Students, we were supposed to pay him 50,000, but we have only paid him 48,500. So from our cash we are going to reduce 48,500. However, the word says in full settlement, which means full settlement means the initial account which you opened for 50,000 will be completely nullified by the amount 50,000 only. So you are going to reduce complete 50,000, or you are going to deduct complete 50,000 from your creditors, and the difference between two, that is 1,500, being your capital profit, you are going to record in your capital column. Alright students, now the next transaction says cash received from Manish. Cash which you were expecting from Manish, you are receiving that. So cash 20,000 positive, and from your debtors, since you are receiving whole amount which you were expecting, thus your debtors will be deducted by rupees 20,000, giving you no profit because nothing has been done regarding profit or loss in this transaction. Students, I am finishing off with this lecture over here. Kindly go through all the videos which has been discussed regarding accounting equation. You are expecting your examination in the upcoming month of May. Just to tell you very well in advance, this accounting equation chapter is very much important from the point of view of your examinations. So kindly go through it, go through all the transactions, all the notes, all the assignments thoroughly. Stay safe, stay home, have a good day.